Okay, cello students, so we're on lesson 11. This is page 14, and we are going to be talking about what a scale is today. So you may remember from the previous lessons when we were kind of working on the notes on each string, I told you that a scale is like a sequence of notes from one note, let's say from the open D, all the way up to the next highest D, which would be this one. So we have open D and the higher D. So from the open D all the way up, you have what we call the D scale. So today you're going to be on page 14 in the little yellow theory box. You'll be writing in the letter names to each one of those notes to the scale. So if you need help on that, go back to where you learned the notes. Go back to page 6 for the D string and page 10 for the A string, and you'll be able to find all those notes. All right, so starting off, I just want to have y'all do a quick review of the D scale. So just start on open D and then go up to your next note, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So you have a full D scale. Okay, so that's what you should be working on pizzicato. Now for your bow, make sure you're still reviewing all of your bow builders, especially bow builder number 6, where you're checking your bow hold and then you're actually bowing on your cello. So that's the 4 bows, just back and forth on the first line, and then the 3 bows on the next line. So work on that, page 16, and then for your other bow exercise, you can begin kind of reviewing. If we go back in our book to where we first learned the D and the A on page 4 and page 5, you can actually play those exercises with your bow now. So for example, let's say you wanted to play exercise 5 on page 4 with your bow. You don't have to do anything with your fingers, it's just the bow. So you just go D, 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 and then A. D, rest, A, rest. And that's all there is to it. And then you can still do the other exercises on page 5 as well, using the bow just on the D and on the A. And what you'll do for down and up, you can mark the bowings into your music if you want to, but you can just do, if you start on down, then you just rotate back and forth. So if you start on down bow, your next bow is up bow, down bow, up bow, and so on. Even if you change strings, so down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, and so on. So it's just a back and forth on there for the strings. Okay, so back to lesson 11, back to page 14. We are going to work on 3 little different tunes here. The first one is a real short one, Carolina Breeze. This one is just reviewing the notes on the D string. So we're going to start on finger 4. I'm going to move my camera over just a bit so y'all can see my fingers better. There you go. Okay, so we have finger 4 starting on G, and F sharp, E, D with a rest. Then we go back to G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, rest, repeat. G, G, F sharp, E, E, D, rest. G, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G. And as you're doing that, you may want to, as well, anytime that you're playing pizzicato notes in the beginning, you may want to keep the fingers down behind the finger that you're playing. Let's say you're playing a G. Try to keep 1, 2, and 3 pressing on the string as well, because that's going to give the string a better resonance. And that's true when you're using the bow as well. For in the beginning, you don't want these fingers lifting up and making that one finger do all the work. So keep those fingers down behind. Okay, the next one is Jingle Bells. So y'all work on this because Christmas is coming up and y'all will have your first Christmas song to play. So on Jingle Bells, it starts on F sharp, okay? So leave that G just kind of hovering there. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are those 3 rests, those 3/4 rests. Okay, next line. G, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, rest, A, rest. So in that spot there, you'll notice we have an E, rest, A, rest, but you're supposed to keep that first finger down because that's going to be behind the F sharp that's coming up next. I'll do that again so y'all can see. E, rest, A, rest, F sharp, rest, F sharp, rest, F sharp, A, D, E, F sharp, rest, 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 G, hold it down, over for the A, G, E, D, rest, rest, rest. Okay, so I want to explain a couple of points in there. As you're going along, you may notice there are 2 spots where you have on the 2nd line and on the 4th line where you have a row of G's. There's lots of G's. So right there, you want to make sure you get a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second measure there, the first beat is a G, and then you go to the F sharp, and that's for both spots there in the song. So make sure you get a full 5 G's. Okay, so sometimes if we're counting the measures in 4s, we're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some students switch right over to the F sharp on that next measure. So don't do that. Make sure you get 5 G's. Okay, so practice that one nice and slowly. The tempo you guys should be working on that should be about like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that, okay? So keep it very slow, and that will give you the chance to really make sure you have all your fingers down and everything sounding good. Okay, on to Old MacDonald Had a Farm. This is page 14, exercise 42. So starting on G, make sure you keep all those fingers down. I'm going to go through here just one time very slowly, just saying the notes as I go, so y'all know where I'm at. G, 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 D, E, E, D, rest. B, B, A, G, rest, rest, D, repeat. G, G, D, E, E, D, rest. B, B, A, G, rest, rest, D. Go on to the next line. Rest, rest, G, 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 D. right, so that middle line there is literally all G's except for that one D at the very end. So it's a very, very easy tune. Just make sure you keep it in rhythm and keep it going slowly, okay? So on from there, the only other thing you should be practicing other than those pages should be your tone study number 1. So just a quick review of what tone study number 1 is. Check your bow hold. Make sure it looks just like the one on page 16 where we have bow builder number 6. And you can also kind of take a look at page 17 where it shows you the string levels. So it kind of shows you how your bow is kind of pivoting and the arm movement as well. And that's important to make sure that you have that down. So on to tone study number 1. Make sure you're starting all the way at the frog. So this part of the bow is called the frog. This part of the bow is called the tip. So not sure who invented it by calling it the frog, but we won't worry about that for now. Okay, so starting at the frog, you're going to draw all the way down as slowly as possible while keeping your tone very clear. Okay, and then when you get all the way to the tip, then you're going to do an up bow. You're going to go back to the frog. So keep it slowly and keep it in the same spot. Okay, now another thing that y'all may be noticing on the camera, it looks as if the bow is going sideways. It's really not in real life. You'll see it would be a straight line going across in real life. It's just the camera angles. No matter how I put the camera, it has a tendency to make the bow look like it's going diagonally. So you want to check your bow, make sure your bow is not coming up this way or going down that way when you're playing. You want it to be going straight back and forth. Okay, so on to the G. Start at the frog, do down bow, very slow. Think about a good tone, and then all the way back up. So you're just gonna do that on all 4 strings. And that is tone study number 1. And coming up, I'll be giving you tone study number 2. That's when we will be in our book on page 17. We'll be talking about bow lifts, and I'll give you your next tone study. So y'all be practicing, work on Jingle Bells, work on Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and definitely work on your D scale. So the D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. So that is your full D scale. Another thing you can do with that is you can play it all the way up, and then you can go all the way back down. Like that. So that makes a fun exercise. So y'all work on that and see how you like it. If you have any questions about what we've covered so far, make sure you leave them in the comments so that I can help you before we go on to the next lesson. Coming up, we have lots of bowing work that we're going to be getting into, and we're really going to be taking this up to the next level. Starting on page 20 is actually a whole new level, working on 8th notes. So I will give y'all a break before we do that, and we will actually go over in the book to page 26, and we will work on learning the G string notes. So you won't have to worry about doing 8th notes just yet. You'll actually get a chance to work on the G, and then we will also go over to page 36, and we will work on the C string notes. So that will be the lowest one. So y'all will have a little bit of fun with that. I'll give y'all some more finger warm-ups to help with reaching those notes and being comfortable with that. And then we'll get into your 8th notes after that. And so those pages will already be accomplished by the time you reach them. So That'll be kind of fun. We'll be kind of mixing in these lessons and accomplishing them twice as fast and giving you the benefits sooner. So y'all be practicing. Have fun. See y'all in the next lesson.